Today, we are going to see the limitations or dangers of foreign capital. In the previous class, we studied about the significance or importance about foreign capital. Of course, foreign capital, either it be foreign direct investment or portfolio investments, is good for the nation's economy, development of the economy. But though there are so many benefits under this foreign direct investment or foreign capital, still we have certain limitations or certain criticisms which are leveled against the foreign capital. Let us see that one by one in our class today. The first thing is, foreign capital tends to flow to the high profit areas than to the priority sectors. So, whenever there is an input or investment of money from a foreign country to a domestic country, ultimately the foreign investor who is ready to make the investment will be expecting more returns, and therefore his investment will be directed towards the areas where he may get more profit. So, the priority sectors of the domestic country may be neglected, may not be given importance in foreign direct investment or foreign capital. That is the first and foremost criticism against the foreign capital. The second one is the technologies what come from foreign capital investment that sometimes may not suit our economic conditions, our needs, our economic needs, or our needs of the consumers. It may not match with the needs of our people, or it may not match with the resources available here, or it may not match with the stage of development of the economy. So different economies or different countries may be in different stages of development, and they may have different technologies. And what happens when other countries' technology comes into our country or a domestic country, mostly it doesn't match with the needs of the consumers here or the business here. So that is the second limitation given. The next is the multinational corporations, through their power and flexibility, there is a chance of evasion, or there is a chance of undermining or having a control over the economic autonomy of the domestic country. Not only that, their activities, the activities of the multinational corporations or the FDIs are maybe inimical to the national interests of the domestic country. So, literally what happens is, when there is an entry of multinational corporations or foreign direct investment in whatever mode, generally there is a tendency to conquer the economic autonomy of the domestic country. We know the history of India, how Britishers became the rulers of India. Through this East India Company, they came through trade and they evaded. Though it is not going to be the same now, but they will have control over the economic autonomy of the nation. So that is another limitation. Then the next limitation is that foreign investments, sometimes it creates an unfavorable balance of payments of a country. How does this happen? Generally, we study under significance or importance or benefits that foreign direct investment brings in money, and for a developing country, that is a very good source of foreign exchange. We can easily bridge the gap, etc. But sometimes it happens that when you go beyond the limits, depending on foreign capital investments, what happens is the royalty what we have to pay, or the dividend what we have to pay from our country for those investments, that goes beyond the investments what we receive from them. And what happens? Ultimately, there is a drain of our foreign exchange resources by the way of royalty or dividend or interest to foreign countries. So this also becomes a danger to the nation's economy, and hence it is also a limitation of foreign direct investment or whatever foreign money that comes in. Not only that, we learned that the foreign multinational corporations or foreign investments, they may have a control over the economic autonomy of our nation. Not only economic autonomy, sometimes they also interfere in the politics of a nation. they interfere or they have a role in the national politics also. Then the next is foreign investors sometimes they engage in unfair and unethical trade practices. As countries differ from each other, some trade practices which are fair for those countries may be unfair for the domestic countries. And not only that, some practices may be treated as ethical there but unethical here. So because of this difference of culture and difference of society and economy, there is a chance that these multinational corporations or foreign investments may bring in unethical and unfair trade practices into the nations. And not only that, sometimes there is a chance that there comes a dangerous situation that the competition is being minimized or completely eliminated because of the foreign direct investment made. The competition in the domestic country is completely eliminated, and there it creates monopoly or sometimes oligopolistic structures, which is not good for the economy or for the consumers. You know the defects of drawbacks of monopoly that we have to bear with. So we have to be very cautious that if there is a foreign direct investment, we have to be very cautious that it should not lead to monopoly of that particular trade or industry. And apart from that, this foreign direct investments, they also displace the investment opportunities. They preempt the investment opportunities of the domestic people or domestic business. So they exploit the wonderful investment opportunities which would have been available to the domestic business. So that is also endangering our nation's economy. And other than that, we have certain other criteria and other cost. We have to incur certain other cost because of this foreign investment. For example, we have to promote or we have to give special concessions. As a host country, we have to offer certain special privileges or concessions, which in turn will affect the savings of the domestic country. Not only that, deterioration in the terms of the trade, and not only that, may also create problems of balance of payments adjustments, etc. So these are the limitations of this foreign capital. So we cannot ultimately say foreign capital is should be avoided. No, not like that. But when a country utilizes or when a country welcomes foreign capital or accepts foreign capital, it has to be very cautious in all these points discussed now. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.